Okay, welcome back, children. So, we continue with the story. After the author returns from the university, he describes that even on the first day of his arrival, the happiest moment for the grandmother was to feed the sparrows. For a long, long time, she was feeding, and she was feeding them with frivolous rebukes. Like we scold small children, very young children, with a in a light-hearted manner. In the same manner, she was also giving some sort of light-hearted scoldings to these sparrows. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got a drum, and started to sing. For several hours, she thumped the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of the warriors. Now, this song is also very symbolic. Why? Because the author or the grandson had also come back after completing his studies. So that's why maybe she was so happy. The grandmother was so happy that she rejoiced this moment by beating the drums and by singing about the homecoming of the warriors. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did not pray. That day she did not pray. For the first time, the author witnessed that the grandmother was not praying. Now, there is a suspense involved in this. I'll come to this when we move on with the story, and we can correlate it with the incidents that is going to follow up next. The next morning, she was taken ill. It was a mild fever, and the doctor told us that it would go. But my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. Maybe that's why she didn't pray that day. Okay? She did not pray because she was aware of the fact that she is going to go to God's altar forever now. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. So she excluded something from her life for a while, and that was praying. Okay? And she was also not talking to anybody. She remained silent in her last hours. We protested, and these family members, they expressed their objection against this behavior of hers. She ignored our protest. She lay peacefully in bed, praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor spread on her face, and we knew that she was dead. Now, by adding this adjective peaceful in front of pallor, which means an unhealthy pale appearance, okay, and by bringing these two, one very positive word, that is peaceful, and the another one a very negative word, an unhealthy pale appearance, he again epitomizes the grandmother as somebody who is an entity of peace and calmness. And this peaceful pallor spread on her face, and they knew that she was dead. We lifted her off the bed, and as is customary means traditional, laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. Shroud means a piece of cloth used to wrap a dead person. After a few hours of mourning, we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude stretcher to take her to be cremated. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. Again, this is very symbolic because you could see that it seems the description tells you somewhere down the line that the whole world, or one would say the whole setup around her, even nature, it seemed, was mourning her death. And when she died, there was a golden light, a blazing golden light, like a burning fire, okay, which the setting sun projected or reflected. Again, giving us a very, very, one would say, divine and a very holy sort of a picture, so sort of an imagery about the grandmother. And the author describes this particular instance of the grandmother going to the heaven forever in a very, very, one would say, in a very divine and holy manner. We stopped halfway in the courtyard, all over the veranda, and in her room, right up to where she lay dead, and the stiff wrapped on the red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. Now, this description is very, very emotional and very touching, one would say, because those sparrows whom the grandmother used to feed, they all gathered as if they were showing their respect, their last respect to the grandmother, to this noble soul. And but today it was different. Okay, their behavior was completely different. They were not chirping, they were not making merry, and these family members, they all felt very sorry for the birds. And my mother fetched some bread for them. She broke it into little crumbs, the way my grandmother used to, and threw it to them. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse off, they flew away quietly. And next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. So a very nostalgic and very emotional ending to the story, where we see that the grandmother has died, but the narrator has lived his life from being dependent on the grandmother to being independent of her. But it is clear to the reader that he will never forget his grandmother's influence, which is immense. And to a certain extent, one can say that the grandmother has influenced this author so much that he has written this whole account on the name of the grandmother. Now let us summarize what all we have learnt in this video. The evening the author came back, the grandmother did not follow her regular routine. She stopped praying for a while. She thumped the ruined part of the drum and sang along. The whole family persuaded her to stop, as she might get ill due to exhaustion. The next morning she fell ill. It was a mild fever. The doctor told them that it would go away, but she took it differently. According to her, she would die soon, as her end was near. She started to utilize her last hours and stopped praying for a while. And she did not want to waste her last hours in talking to anyone. The family protested, tried to stop her, but she lay peacefully on her bed, chanting prayers and doing her beads. Suddenly she stopped, and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A calm, pale appearance spread on her face, and she was dead. The family lifted her from the bed, laid her on the ground, and wrapped her with a red-colored cloth. Thousands of sparrows sat silently near her. The author's mother fetched some bread for the birds, but they did not eat anything, as if they were mourning the death of the grandmother, giving their last tribute to the grandmother. They flew away later as the family carried the dead body. The sweeper removed the crumbs. The next morning, the birds were so sensitive that they did not went to eat the bread, but were mourning the death of one who had fed them for so many days and so many years. Thank you, children. Now, if you have any doubts regarding the chapter, you can always send a WhatsApp message to me, and hope to see you soon.